Welcome to Who's Attacking Me Now, Part 4. At this point, we've read our log file in Python, and we're able to recognize an attack. Now it's time to parse the data, that is, pull out just what we're interested in and throw the rest away. Here's the code from Part 3. We run it, and this is the data that we get. We're looking for the IP address. That's the information that we want to pull out of each line. And that's going to be a certain distance from the beginning of the line. So let's say that the distance from the beginning of the line to the IP address is, I don't know, let's say that's 60 characters. You look, it looks pretty consistent here, right? But a little gotcha is that root is the username. Now the attacker could be coming in as a different user. It's not always going to be root. And if the username is longer, then that'll push the IP address further along. It won't be the same offset from the beginning of the line. So we need a feature that occurs before the IP address as close as possible and that never changes. And if we can find that feature, then we can move from there up to the IP address and find where the IP actually starts. Okay, so if you look at all these lines and the format of the line, it's always going to have the keyword from appearing before the line. So we can work on that. And from could be incorporated in part of a word, it might be in the username. So we'll use space from space because that's even more specific. All right, let's see how that works. Strings have all kinds of useful methods with them, one of which is the find method. So we can find the offset or index, I'll call it INX because index is a keyword, from the beginning of the line. And what we want to find is space from space. That'll tell us how far into the line space from space appears. And let's then display, let's see, starting at INX and going to the end. So that's how we're going to display a segment of the line, just a subline or substring of this line. We're going to start at the index return from find. You have the colon here, and if you don't have anything after the colon, then Python's going to go to the end of the line. It's going to give you the rest of the line there. All right, so that's line, square bracket, the index, colon, and nothing after it, followed by another square bracket. So let's see what we get with this. Okay, so we're getting there, right? We just don't need this extra space from space in there. So that's easily fixed. If we add plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 6. Let's see what that does. We're working our way up to where we need to be. Okay, so we have the start of the IP address. Now, if we can find a feature, and you can see they vary in length, right? If we can find a feature that follows the IP address, we can do the exact same thing. So here we see spaceport space. All right, so let's look for that. And we can say, okay, that's the beginning. We can say that the end is equal to line.port. I'm sorry, dot find spaceport space. And then instead of going to the end of the line, we can say, you know what, go right up to where spaceport space starts. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, so we have all our IP addresses. This is the longest one that we could get because IPs are limited to 3 digits, dot 3 digits, dot 3 digits, dot 3 digits in length. So we know we're not chopping anything off. We know we're getting the beginning of it. We can be confident that we're getting the full IP address. In part 5, we'll look at how to organize our data using a dictionary.